Let's take a live look outside right now using the Mission Ridge camera as we check the forecast. We have been getting rain and it is an unsettled weather pattern out there. Let's get the latest from meteorologist Cedric Haynes. Hi, Cedric.
Hi there, Latrice. I love that shot there because you can actually see the approaching downpour that's about to make its way into Chattanooga. I'll show you that in just a moment here on the radar, but kind of cool to see that there in the distance from the camera. But this is a photo that was sent in yesterday from Mark Wilson. He wanted to show off. We were talking about this a little bit last week here, and he was showing off some of his huge tomato plants there in Dayton. And of course, he's got some huge tomatoes as well showing up out there. So if you're a big fan of the Mater sandwiches, well, I'll tell you what, contact Mark because it looks like he is in business right now. Looks like they are going to be enjoying some nice Mater sandwiches or maybe some BLTs or whatever you may like there. But pretty cool to see there. So we want to give a shout out to Mark for sending that in. Outside over downtown, we got the clouds. We need some water to help maybe go into the garden or maybe into some of those plants that you may have in your backyard. 81 degrees, the dew point is 71, so a very tropical feel to the air outside now, and we have that south wind. And remember, I was talking about that shower we could see on radar or on the sky camera there coming into Chattanooga, and you can see that here on radar now showing up here in the distance. And in fact, as we're going a little closer, there's your downpour. Again, moving in on 24 there, crossing into the city itself, so the heavy rainfall making its way in across the western half of Chattanooga now and about to make its way through the city and heading over towards the split as we go into the next 10 to 15 minutes. So be aware if you're about to hit the roadways, maybe heading out for lunch, thinking about jumping on the interstate, give it a little time if you're in the Chattanooga, East Ridge, Fort Oglethorpe corridor there until this little burst of rainfall makes its way on through. Other than that, we've got an unsettled weather pattern here. We've got a lot of moisture that's just kind of trapped here over the southeast, including the Tennessee Valley. We need something to kind of pick up that moisture and scour it out. Just don't have much happening. Of course, it's summertime, but there is a cold front that's way off here in the plain states that will eventually arrive and help to try to clear out some of this moisture. But it's going to take most of the week before that actually gets here. So between now and then, we will keep this unsettled weather pattern in the forecast here with that off and on chance of seeing some of these scattered showers and storms. So let's try to time it all out for you with FUTURECAST. Remember, FUTURECAST gives us an idea, paints a picture of what could happen with the atmosphere as we go throughout today. So we've got a little moisture making its way through now. Notice it starts to fill in with a little more activity again as we get towards your 3-4 o'clock time frame. So very similar to what we saw yesterday. We may see this occur again as we go throughout your Tuesday afternoon. So just be aware, hit or miss downpours will be likely from time to time, and that trend will continue as we go into really not only this afternoon, it may wane a little bit this evening, but notice tonight we could have another burst of energy moving through. So we could have more downpours, a little pitter patter of rain on the roof or maybe the window as you go to sleep tonight as well. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, yeah, we could have another little burst of moisture moving through. So more downpours will be possible. Again, this is not a washout, nothing that's going to rain all day and all night, but we'll have these off and on showers continuing even into your Wednesday afternoon. So notice the rain chances. I've got them at about 30% for the rest of today, also for your Wednesday, but we boost that up to about a 50% chance of that rainfall. So a little higher chance Thursday as that front moves in. Then notice it gets drier for the weekend. That will allow the big heat dome with all the excessive heat out to our west to begin to expand to the east. And that means we're going to be looking at some dangerous level of heat and humidity starting to build into the Tennessee Valley. So you could see that hot air, that big heat dome starting to shift to the east as we head towards the weekend, which will allow for our temperatures to warm up as well. So we'll go from the mid-90s for highs over the next couple of days to upper 90s by the time we get towards your weekend, close to 100 degrees. And with the very muggy conditions in place, yes, it's going to feel like it's in the triple digits here each and every afternoon over the next 5. So your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, there you see it, 90 today, mid-90s Wednesday, Thursday with the best chance of rain heading our way, and then it's hot and dry as we head into the weekend. Latrice, heat indices 105 to 110.
Okay, Cedric, we don't have sound television here, but that is not a pitter-patter on the roof right now.
It's a little pitter-patter, a little sprinkle out there. I bet if we showed the sky camera, that Missionary Ridge sky camera again, it'll just be a sprinkle on the window.
Just a sprinkle there.
Yeah, just a sprinkle.
Yeah,
see,
look at that out there.
You can kind of see a little bit. So
if you're inside right now, you are lucky because that rain is coming down, especially over here in this area. Okay.
It'll only last about 5 minutes, though. That's the good.
Okay, and then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
All right. Thank you, Cedric. But don't go far, Cedric, because you got to come right back. Still to come here on Local 3 News at noon. Find out why this bottle of champagne fetches $2.5 million at auction, possibly the most expensive bottle of bubbly or wine ever sold. Plus, it was a surprise no one saw coming. We're going to tell you how two newlyweds handled well, a rather unexpected guest on their wedding day. What's trending is next. Cedric will be here with me. Welcome back. We're talking what's trending. How is your taste in bubbly? Well, do you have really expensive taste? A bottle of champagne fetched, listen to this, a record $2.5 million at auction. It's likely the most expensive bottle of wine ever sold. Not cheap, Cedric.
No, but you can't go cheap on wine, Latrice.
You can't.
No. Now, while the wine itself is a fine vintage, the real value is the artwork on the label. Shemi Shin, who commissioned the artist for the bottle design, says it may be the first of a limited edition series, Latrice.
So you may have never seen, so if you want to get one of those bottles, you may be able to get one of those bottles later if it's
2.5.
If they bring another one out. Just save up $2.5 million,
but
right?
If you hold out, maybe it'll go on clearance, so you might get something about two
maybe
million.
Half price, maybe.
I might go in with a little something about
maybe 25-30% off.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's got to be a sale though.
Okay, the bottle. Well, you know what? You pay that much, so you're just going to let the bottle sit there. You're not going to drink out of it because you're like, I paid $2.5 million for this.
You bought it for a special occasion. That's at some point it's a special occasion.
Then you have to open it and drink it, but save the bottle.
Yes.
Okay, so you may have never seen a wedding crasher like this one. An outdoor wedding was nearly washed away Sunday when a huge swell slammed into an over-the-sea wall in Hawaii. So here's a clip of the now viral video. But Cedric, I asked you, I said,
yes.
What is a swell? I said, is that just one of those waves? So I'll let you kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, well, out to sea, we talk about swells. That's how we measure the water. If you're a boater, you're out there measuring how high are the wave caps or the ocean caps there, the sea levels. And so obviously when we see that coming ashore, we here on shore usually call that a wave. And so that wave crashing into shore. And, I tell you, we have a feature on our Storm Alert weather app, though, that can track that. So you can see all those folks.
So they could have tracked that.
But
they could have been tracking that.
They were not very in tune in the fact that you can have that for free on your phone and take it with you to Hawaii.
Wow,
you could have been tracking the waves.
There we go, at their wedding.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Now, the bride and groom said that the cake and most of the food survived.
That's good.
And not even a few massive waves could dampen their spirits as the party went on as planned. Party on, folks. Just a little water.
You know what? Look, this was their wedding day. We looked it up. An average wedding in Hawaii is about $32,000. And that's just, if you do the basic deal without anything extra.
Yeah.
So, I'm just looking at that swell coming in those waves. So when you have destination weddings like this, you really have to consider the time of year. And like Cedric said, make sure you have the app so that you can know that if a swell is coming. Because like she said, the food, the cake was not damaged. If they paid all this money for the wedding, they were definitely going to enjoy their day.
Hopefully they didn't have that 2.5 million bottle of
wine there.
Yeah, and they had poured it. Ooh, that'd be a bad day. Don't you think? Maybe.
That would not have been good.
No, but that's, again, like you said, the Storm Alert weather app, folks, prevent you from scenes like that. Also will prevent you from scenes like that here in the Tennessee Valley in terms of the rain coming out of the sky. We're actually tracking some downpours out there. We'll let you know where they are now and where they may go this afternoon. That's coming up right here on Local 3 News at noon.
This is Local 3 News at noon.
Early voting is underway and things are getting tense out there. Some Hamilton County candidates say, "Don't steal my signs or we'll show you on video." Plus, the Department of Early Learning has announced a new festival coming to Chattanooga this weekend. More on that story ahead. Thank you so much for watching this half hour of Local 3 News at noon. It is Tuesday, July the 19th. I'm Latrice Curry. Let's take a live look outside, and I'll just go ahead and spoiler alert. It is not a pretty picture out there today. As we take first a live look from traffic from the TDOT SmartWay camera here. And traffic is moving smoothly, at least no major problems to report. So keep those windows rolled up and hopefully you have the umbrella and some rain gear in your car. For the very latest, let's get to meteorologist Cedric Haynes here in the studio. Hey, Cedric.
Well, hello there, Latrice. We are tracking some of those scattered downpours and we'll likely see more of that off and on this afternoon. Not a washout by any means, but as we take a look at the radar, you can see here on the big picture, we do have some activity moving on through. So let's go in a little closer, show you what's going on right now in the city of Chattanooga. If you're on 24 heading into East Ridge, Rossville, Fort Oglethorpe, you're seeing some of that heavy rainfall. A couple of flashes of lightning here recently showing up with this activity. Nothing severe, but again, you're going to notice this activity as it's making its way towards East Brainerd, Appleton, over towards the Ooltewah area. May even clip portions of Ringgold down towards Tunnel Hill as well with some a quick burst of heavy rainfall. But again, this will last a few minutes and then it's out of there. And then we have more activity trying to get going now over portions of Alabama here in DeKalb County, but that's beginning to move across the Georgia Georgia line now in the Chattooga and Walker counties. But again, this is scattered activity, but I do want to let you know we have seen some heavy rainfall in portions of DeKalb County, where we still have that flash flood warning that's in effect there. Radar estimating anywhere between 2 to 5 inches of rain has fallen there, and that extends over towards portions of southern Floyd County and to portions of Bartow County as well. But again, anywhere between 1 to 3 inches of rainfall across southern Floyd County, about an inch in Chattooga County. Now, as you look farther out towards the north, towards Athens, Murphy, Blue Ridge, Cleveland, not much overnight, but now we're starting to see some of this activity kind of slowly building north and east there. That tells us that we've got a disturbance working its way through the area. And sure enough, it's unsettled right across the southeast here. So we're going to be kind of dealing with this unsettled weather pattern over the next 24 to 48 hours for sure. Upper 70s to lower 80s out there with your temperatures. And again, off and on chances of isolated downpours with temperatures nearing the 90-degree mark. We'll come back and talk more about your forecast for the rest of the week. This is hot, but I've got hotter weather heading our way, but also add in the humidity. We'll let you know what that means in just a little bit, Latrice.
Means really uncomfortable weather there, Cedric.
Don't give it all away.
I know, right? Okay, just guessing.
That's it.
Educated guess there.
That's right.
Thank you, Cedric. Now to your top stories. The Hickson Kiwanis Club is hosting the candidates for district attorney at this hour. Guests will be able to hear from GOP candidate Cody Wamp and Democratic candidate Matt Adams. They'll have 10 to 12 minutes to address the club with their stance on certain key issues. We'll have much more on this debate later today on Local 3 News at 4. Early voting in Tennessee is underway. As of last Thursday in Hamilton County, more than 2,100 voters have cast their ballots at the polls or by absentee ballot. Saturday, July 30th is the last day to vote early. Hamilton and Bradley County polling locations are open Monday through Saturday. Election day is Thursday, August 4th. Head to our website to find polling locations near you. In Georgia, the general election will be November the 8th. To participate, you must register to vote by October 11th. You can do that by going to the Georgia Secretary of State's website. Election day is about 3 weeks away in Tennessee, and candidates are starting to complain about campaign signs being stolen. In security video, a woman can be seen removing 2 signs from Market Street in downtown Chattanooga. She then throws those signs for commission candidate Montrell Besley and DA candidate John Brooks in the dumpster. Those signs were owned by Besley, and his opponent Joe Graham says he has noticed his signs being stolen too. Both are calling these actions unacceptable at any point in any campaign.
You know, when somebody feel like they're losing ground, you know, they start doing just reckless things, you know, causing mess. That's not the candidate I am. I don't cause mess.
It happens every campaign, whether good times or bad. I mean, it happens in every campaign, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, independent, it happens in everybody's campaign. And it's a shame. It's a shame.
If you're caught stealing a campaign sign, you could face 2 days in jail plus fines in Tennessee. Local 3 contacted both Brooks and Republican nominee for DA Cody Wamp for an interview on this topic, but we have not heard back from either. The Catoosa County Sheriff's Office is trying to identify the man there on your screen. He is accused of burglarizing the Catoosa Express convenience store near Cloud Springs Road. The suspect was last seen driving a black vehicle, which appears to have extensive damage to the right front fender. If you have any information, call the number on your screen. The Dalton Police Department says a text message scam is circulating in regards to a Dalton Police t-shirt. The police department said this is not being sent out by them. Ignore that message and, yes, delete it. The Chattanooga Police Department has seen an uptick in checks stolen from mailboxes. Here are some ways to safeguard your mail and your checks. Check your mail on a regular basis. Do not accept or send checks or cash through the mail. Consider using direct deposit to a financial institution. Also, consider a mailbox that locks or a P.O. box. And prominently display theft preventive devices, home surveillance cameras, and signs. After the break here on Local 3 News, we're going to take a look at some of your top stories in consumer news. Don't go anywhere. We are back after the break. Delta Airlines has signed on the dotted line to purchase 100 Boeing planes. The deal is for 100 737 MAX 10 planes with options for 30 more. New planes are more fuel efficient and will replace Delta's older narrow-body jets. It's the airline's first major order from Boeing in more than a decade. Deliveries are expected to begin in 2025. You've probably heard about all the flight delays and cancellations this summer. Well, it seems that some airports are worse than others. A FlightWare analysis shows New York area airports leading the nation for flight cancellations, with Newark and LaGuardia topping the list. The FAA is blaming airline staffing issues, bad weather, and heavy air traffic for delays. Zoom could soon be getting a run for its money from an unlikely competitor, Snapchat. Until now, Snapchat has only been available on mobile devices. Yesterday, the social media platform launched a web-based version of its popular messaging app. The company says it wanted users to have the freedom to switch between their phones and computers while continuing their conversations on the platform. Move over Christmas in July. Here comes Halloween. Home Depot is already marketing its 12-foot-tall Halloween skeleton, nicknamed Skelly. He has been a big hit over the past few years. Now competing retailers like Walmart, Target, and Lowe's are following suit. To compete with Skelly, Lowe's is offering a 12-foot lighted animated mummy. Walmart is countering with a 12-foot scary slim man, while both Target and Walmart offered 12-foot inflatable ghost. And okay, well, we're not really going to have any Halloween-like fall weather probably anytime soon.
No, I don't think so, Latrice. Although, amazingly, people get us confused, me and Skelly. They say we have a remarkable resemblance. It's amazing. Hey, we're also tracking some downpours out there, though. It's kind of scary if you're caught in one of those, especially on the roadways. I'll let you know how long you could expect that to last, plus what is going to happen with our temperatures. Oh my. We'll talk about the weekend coming up right here on Local 3 News at noon.
Taking a live look outside right now from the Holiday Inn camera. Let's check with meteorologist Cedric Haynes here in the studio, and we are seeing this Unsettled weather pattern. Cedric, you know, during your last forecast, the rain just started, skies opened up right on the rooftop and then stopped, and then you were saying it's going to be like that all throughout the day.
Yes, yes, and you notice how quick it moved in, how quickly it moved right out of here, and that's really what we're going to deal with here as we go throughout the afternoon. So yes, keep the umbrella, the rain ponchos with you, but no, it's not going to be a washout throughout the day. Let's talk about what's going on with the temperatures, because thankfully the clouds and the rain showers that we have out there helping to cool the temperatures down. So we're at 81 degrees currently at the airport with a dew point of 72. So while it's cooler, it's very muggy. So that means it still feels like it's about 86 degrees outside despite the cooler temperatures. Hey, let's take a look at the radar. Just can't win, right? Here's a look at the big picture, and you can see again, we've got some scattered activity moving in, primarily, notice, south of the Tennessee border, but from Chattanooga and Point South, we're seeing some of this heavy rain continue. You can see the downpours now pushing out of Chattanooga and out of East Ridge, now making its way over towards East Brainerd, heading over towards Ringgold as well, so Old Ringgold Road, and heading up towards Appleton, Ottawa, so watch out there between exit 8 and exit 11 there. You're likely going to see some of that heavy rainfall building in. And then down to the south, we've got some downpours moving out of Catoosa County now, making its way over towards western Whitfield County, right around the Tunnel Hill area. Good burst of rainfall moving through Lafayette. We've got another little shower that's going to be making its way through. Same thing in Chickamauga. So off and on, little scattered activity building in, and some light rain now from Fort Payne over towards Rainsville. This is good news that they're seeing light rain. We'd like to see it come to an end altogether, because just since midnight, they've already picked up radar estimating anywhere between 2 to 5 inches of rainfall over portions of southern DeKalb County from Rainsville down towards Fort Payne and over to the south. So they don't need any more rain. That's why they still have a flash flood warning in effect there. And then notice even in southern portions of Floyd County, about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall being estimated, about 1 to 2 inches from let's say Somerville down towards the Rome area. And again, that was just since midnight. But notice to the north, not nearly that much. But notice this activity is starting to spread off towards the east and northeast. So that lets us know we're expecting more scattered activity to develop for our friends off towards the north and east as we go throughout this afternoon. It's an unsettled weather pattern here. We've got some tropical moisture that's just kind of stuck right over the Tennessee Valley and the southeast. We need something to come and pick up that moisture and scour it out of the area, but we got to wait for that cold front to arrive, and that's going to be another 2-3 days or so. So we've got some time, and that means we're going to see this unsettled weather pattern continuing. So FutureCast showing us wave number 1 moving through now, but notice as we get into the afternoon, 3-4 o'clock, we're not completely done with the rain. Now this is an estimate. This is the computer models taking a look at the current conditions and trying to project in the future. So it's saying, yes, we're going to have some hit or miss pop-up showers and storms redeveloping this afternoon, but don't get too caught up on the exact placement. Just know there will be some around. We'll get that to fade out as we go into the evening hours, but overnight tonight, we'll probably see another disturbance moving through, giving us some more scattered downpours. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, voila, we'll cook it up with a few more scattered downpours across parts of the area. That will fade even in the afternoon tomorrow. Also, at least a few hit or miss showers still out there. So again, keep the rain gear with you. I've got rain chances about 30% on average over the next couple of days. I think a little higher chance for all of us on Thursday as a front moves through. And then look at this. It just gets drier as we head into the weekend. That's not good news, though. I know what you're thinking. Dry weather for the weekend, yeah, that's what we want. But that means all the big heat with the heat dome to our west will begin to expand to the east. And that's why it's not good news, because we're going to be talking about our temperatures now going from the low 90s, mid 90s into the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. But then you got to factor in the very muggy conditions as well. So while high temperatures by Saturday or Sunday approaching the upper 90s, you factor in that very muggy weather that we're going to have in place that will stick around through that time. Yeah, it's going to feel like it's in the triple digits, 105 or higher as we go into the weekend. So that means some dangerous heat indices, and I don't see any relief anywhere across the country, the lower 48, in the next several weeks. So enjoy the heat while it's here, because it's going to stick around for a while. Here's your Storm Alert 7-day forecast. 90 could be the coolest day of the week. Get ready, Latrice. The weekend looking dry with all that sunshine. Just watch out for those temperatures.
To be hot. All right, thank you, Cedric. Ahead on Local 3 News, a 200-year-old mine goes 3D, and a highway full of cows gets moved. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This. Stay with us. Explorers are very excited about a centuries-old mine found loaded with untouched 17th century relics and a mysterious autograph. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A 200-plus-year-old cobalt mine recently discovered in England is a literal treasure trove of historical items from the Napoleonic Wars era left frozen in time. Experts described the mine as pristine, saying it had been abandoned in 1810 and had laid untouched not only from human hands, but also sealed off from oxygen, preserving the relics inside, which included mine machinery, clay pipes and bowls, leather shoes, ropes, and more. Those who made the discovery also found dated inscriptions left behind, begging the intriguing question, who was W.S.? The find was so significant that the National Trust, which owns the land, commissioned a full digital mapping of the mine, allowing curious explorers to take a three-dimensional tour of the cavern online from anywhere in the world. If that didn't get you thinking, holy cow, then take a look at this. The Florida Turnpike had to be shut down in both directions when roughly 70 cows were forced to flee from a trailer fire. Thankfully, firefighters were able to get the flames under control and all the cows were accounted for, allowing all involved to steer clear of an utter disaster. And finally, speaking of roadside messes, this Minnesota man is on a mission to clean up his local roads. 77-year-old Doug Eichten walks a busy 2-mile stretch every few days with the goal of collecting 15 pounds of roadside trash a week. Eichten says nothing about his filthy finds surprises him anymore, but for the sake of the environment, he doesn't mind putting in the dirty work. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, I'll tell you what, if you're going to be on a mission today out around your neighborhood or the community, just make sure you grab the umbrella or the rain poncho at least, because we are going to be tracking more downpours. I'll take a look at that with the radar and talk about those temperatures for the weekend. That's right here next on Local 3 News at noon. Well, if you're getting ready to head out for lunch, just make sure you have the umbrella or rain gear with you just in case. Let me show you the radar because we do have some scattered downpours moving through the area right now. You can see kind of a cluster that's standing out here moving east of Chattanooga now. So if you're heading over towards Ooltewah, East Brainerd, Appleton, taking that road down to the south, maybe heading on 75, crossing over into Ringgold, Varnell, Tunnel Hill, Cohutta, heads up, you're about to get a good burst of rain, also a good batch of rain right around Chickamauga as well. And you can see down towards Calhoun, western Gordon County, heading to the Buckies. Yeah, you're going to run into some heavy rainfall moving that way. Same thing over portions of Chattooga and Walker counties. And then heading back to the west into DeKalb County, seeing some light rain Thankfully, it's light. You've already had about 2 to 5 inches since midnight. Flash flood warning still in effect there, but again, the rain is light for now, and that's some good news. The problem is more of these downpours with some daytime heating and a little sunshine could help fuel more heavy downpours in some neighborhoods this afternoon. So be aware of that. Again, not a washout, but there will be a scattering of downpours. They'll fade out this evening. More will develop tonight and through the overnight hours, even into tomorrow morning. So don't be surprised. And yes, off and on into your Wednesday afternoon, that trend will continue. In fact, I think it continues through Thursday. Thursday may bring us the best chance or the highest chance of seeing some of that rainfall as a front moves through. It's not really, it is a cold front, but it's only a cold front in name because it really shifts our wind, dries our air out, and dry air heats up quickly. So that means we warm up. Highs in the upper 90s as we get throughout the weekend, but it will feel like 105 to 110. Dangerous heat heading back to the area. But for today, coolest day of the week, Latrice.
All right, we will keep that in mind. Thank you so much. Make sure you have that rain gear handy. Thank you so much for joining us for Local 3 News at noon. Days of Our Lives is next.